Let's talk about one of the things that he gets going with, he being CM Punk, pronouns pal.
Mm.
He makes his debut on OVW TV, and very quickly, has a little bit of trouble. I think he suffers a ruptured eardrum and a broken nose on his official TV debut. And he's really out of sorts here. And he would admit years later that he didn't really know what WWE wanted, but he knew that they had a reputation of being sort of the land of the giants. And you got to remember, this is '05. This is not now. So in '05, the top guys are guys who look like Batista and Triple H and John Cena. They're not necessarily guys who look like Daniel Bryan, or for that matter, Samoa Joe or CM Punk. So he starts to bulk up. He's eating more, and he's changed his diet, and he's lifting more, and he's trying to put on a bigger frame. In '05, when did that culture change? Is there a moment that you remember, or a talent, or an angle, a piece of business, whatever, where you thought, okay, that's no longer necessary. We don't need to have behemoths anymore.
It was around that time because at the same time that we were bringing in Daniel Bryan would be a great example for that, because here's a guy that's 5'8" or 9, just absolutely an amazing in-ring tactician, one that his skill set would be successful in any era that I've worked in my lifetime in wrestling. And I think Punk fit right into that same mold. You got highly skilled guys, very motivated. They really, really wanted to be in WWE, and maybe not just because of the money, but because of the status and the fact that WWE was always the goal. It's easy to say, and I'm not knocking XFL, but if you're an American football player playing American tackle football, and you want to do it for a living, the first choice is always the National Football League. And I think the WWE serves that purpose for a lot of the boys. It's their NFL. And so getting to that level, getting on an NFL team was a huge deal. So, he was one of those guys that had just a fantastic maybe set. He had that great verbal ability to express himself. And he incorporated some MMA stuff, maybe a little bit more submission stuff that other people, may not have utilized as effectively. But Punk and Daniel Bryan, I would say, are two of the leading guys that made this thing work. And I think when I signed Rey Mysterio, that didn't hurt anything, because Rey is so good, we don't think about how small he is. He's not a big guy, except he's got big talent. But things like that contributed to, Conrad, to your question about when that started going away, and the size thing. That I think, I believe that it was a process, but a Rey Mysterio contributed to it. Punk, and Punk was 6'1" or so. He could stand to bulk up a little bit, and he did. But I don't know, man. I think that Punk and Daniel Bryan, all those Ring of Honor guys that Laurinaitis went in and signed, would be contributing factors to that size conundrum that had been a problem or been an issue in WWE for many, many years.